So it's okay. So
Brain-
3, 2, 1. I don't know how to begin it.
Nerd! And welcome to the Nerdy Wordy, a show where we have a lot of nerds talking a lot of words. I'm Robert,
I am Billy.
and we are the nerds that we're going to be talking a lot of stuff about. A lot of Marvel, a lot of Star Wars, a lot of DC, a lot of stuff that we like to talk about.
Mhm. It's a lot of nerdy stuff, basically.
Exactly.
The
But this
occasional
episode,
physics, maybe. We'll
yes,
see.
exactly. Physics. We have some physics news we're going to have every single week.
Mhm.
So
Back
basically
to
what
back.
the format of this show is going to be like is we're going to have one segment every week. We're going to talk about something that's like breaking news. So like anything that's going on in Marvel and DC and Star Wars, anything, that's where we're going to start off the show. Going to have our thoughts, our initial discussions. Maybe we're going to put some theories in there, you know? And
Oh
then
yeah.
later on, we're going to continue with any other things about physics or anything like that. Because thing is, you and I, we're both physics majors, right?
Oh yeah. So you're about to get your degree. I got my degree last year.
Yep.
So
So we're going to be qualified, and we can be able to put some perspectives
we
on,
are reputable.
yes, and we can be able to talk about things in science and be able to explain things that maybe you didn't really understand in movies or TV shows that they talked about. Because all that mumbo jumbo, can you really understand it all?
My favorite one is an end game about the inverted Mobius strip. That's my favorite one.
And we
Of
can be able to calculate that. We can do that for you guys if you wanted to, but we're probably not going to do that. That's a lot of work.
Rob's volunteering to do that.
I'm not trying to volunteer, but I'll volunteer as tribute.
Okay. And I'll cheer from the sideline.
Exactly. And then towards the end of the episode, we can talk about everything that's going on in our lives and stuff that we're interested in. So, for example, I can definitely talk about the comic books that I have gotten during the week because I'm a huge comic book collector of everything from Marvel and DC. And I can talk about any kind of speculation that's going on in the Marvel and DC comic books that are happening right now. And you, Billy, you have something interesting that you could do every week, right?
I'll come up with something. I have It'll probably be something either physics related or maybe magic related or memory training related or something along that lines. Not quite sure yet. Mine will be we'll pin it down after. I'll pin it
Hmm.
down after.
That's the thing, guys. This guy is not only a scientist, he's also a magician. He's going to blow your minds every week.
I am the triple threat of nerdiness. I like Marvel, superheroes, and Star Wars. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
physics major and I do magic. I'm the
Look
triple
out,
threat.
ladies. He's coming for you.
Oh yeah. Oh, and quadruple threat. Well, fifth threat is I can't speak, but quadruple threat. I'm also only 5'4", which is the Captain America height beforehand. So I'm okay with it. But yeah, so we got short physics major,
Yeah,
interested in nerdy
if you
stuff,
stand him
and
next
does
to me,
magic.
he's gonna be my kid.
What was that?
If he stands next to me, guys, he's like my child.
Yeah, Rob is pretty tall. Or we won't say exactly how tall.
No, it's for the viewers to decide.
Yeah. Anywho,
So, what we're gonna talk about today is we've already talked a little bit about ourselves. We are both nerds. We both love talking about Marvel and DC and Star Wars. We love about physics. And the thing is that we've known each other for quite a while. We've known each other since school started. Now, we didn't
yeah.
really know each other back in freshman year, but we really
No.
got into more of like the knowing of each other when we started talking about Marvel and DC back in like sophomore year.
Yeah, like 2, 3 years now, something like that.
Yeah. So
Good amount of time.
so we've been friends for quite a while, but there was one definitive thing about us that I think really defines our friendship, I think.
Mhm.
Would you agree?
I would agree.
So what we're going to talk about now is this little prank war that we had with each other that spanned when Billy was a senior and I was a junior.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So you explain it from your setting up,
My
or should I
perspective.
explain it first?
No, 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 no. I need to explain it because I was the one who initiated it.
Okay.
So basically, last year before the pandemic happened, I was watching The Office. I watched the entire run of The Office for the first time, and I enjoyed the pranks that Jim pulled on Dwight. For those of you who don't know, Jim and Dwight are these characters on The Office. Jim is kind of like the cooler character, but Dwight is more of the nerdy, kind of like, weird, awkward kind of person. And Jim always
Wait,
finds Dwight annoying.
does that make me like the nerdy one of us two?
No, I'd say I'm the nerdier one of the two, but like I just had the original idea.
Okay,
I'm not saying that one is equal to the other. I'm just saying that like
it sparked it.
it sparked it. But Jim's always annoyed by Dwight. I'm never annoyed by Billy. We always have nice discussions. We're good friends. But he always likes to pull pranks on Dwight. And I'm like, you know what I should do? I should pull some pranks on Billy. It's his last year, his senior year before he's graduating. I feel like it was appropriate for me, even though I was an undergrad who is below him, to give him a little bit of a send off for him for his final year. He's worked so hard to get this degree. Want to make sure it goes out really well.
Mm-hmm.
So my first prank was I decided to fill his desk with packing peanuts. So basically, at our school, we have these cubicles in our physics lounge that we usually congregated in and did homework and talked and stuff. And we have cubicles that have like an overhead where you could stuff all your books and all your stuff in, so that way, it's out of the way. So what I decided to do is I took all these packing peanuts from a U-Haul store, and I went very early in the morning one day, and I just started to pack all these peanuts into the overhead. So Billy will be able to open it and be able to have all these packing peanuts fall out. And it took a long time, and I had to make sure that everything was like perfectly inside, so nothing was going to fall out, and I had to make sure there was no evidence leaving behind. So then I did all that, put the thing nice and quietly away, went off to do my schoolwork and went off to do my job because I have a job in between. And why don't you tell about your side of this little prank here?
Okay, so it was my senior year. It was over halfway. It was around halfway through. So
Mm-hmm.
like after the first semester, it's the second semester. So I don't show up until around midday, and I get there. No one is really in there for right now, so it's just kind of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Get in there, normal day. I'm in a rush to get to class because I'm almost always late everywhere.
Yeah.
So I go, I open up my cubicle top because I forget what I need to get, but I need to grab something.
Mm-hmm.
And I open it, and just a few packing peanuts come out, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
confused. And a few days before, there's actually like some packing peanuts on my desk from somewhere else. I don't know where they came from or who put them there. So I saw them, and I was like, oh, whoever keeps putting stuff, packing peanuts on my desk, put them in the top part because I let people borrow my desk because I don't really leave stuff there for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And but they just kept coming. Like it was like one, two, and then like a bunch came out, and I checked the thing, and I'm confused because like I can tell there's a lot more because like they're like starting to like they grouped up like they're about to fall, but I closed them on it. There's a small pile on my desk. I can't tell how many more are there. I just know there's more,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, well I have to get what I need, so I need to open this the whole way.
Right.
So I open it, I lift it up the whole way, and just like a mound comes out. And when I say a mound, I mean a mound. It was like a foot tall pile on the desk and
Yeah.
like a half a foot to a foot tall pile on my chair and then a big surrounding pile on the ground. It was everywhere. It was such a mess. Oh my god. It was a great prank though, because like I bet my face was amazing, just like dumbfounded, like confused, like just
Right.
perfect.
Because like the unfortunate thing was that I wasn't there to see it because I was doing my job, and I got a text from you like, "Did you do this?"
Yeah, no one initiated it, which I think was the best because I just went and opened it and
Mm.
no one was like, "Hey Billy, go open your desk."
Go over your
Or
desk.
or "Hey Billy, you should open that," or something like that. It was just me going, opening it, pile.
Right.
And I texted like four people who I thought it might be. I was just,
Mhm.
did you put packing peanuts in my desk? Did you put packing peanuts in my desk?
Mhm.
And Nando showed up and he just started laughing and laughing and laughing. And I was like, "Do you know who did this? Who did this?" And yeah, so I left it there for I think a couple hours because I had to go back to class. And
Mhm.
then I decided to move the packing peanuts because I didn't want to have to take care of them. I packed them
Right.
up and we put them in someone else's desk
Mhm.
after. And he ended up just eating the packing peanuts.
Mhm.
They're biodegradable, so it was safe.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen. But either way, the prank was great. Wasn't
Yes.
expecting it. Made a huge mess. It was just perfect.
Mhm. Because I filled it up to the top. Like the cubicle shelf is not big, but it's like you could fit a lot of stuff in there. And it was like filled to the brim with all these packing peanuts. And I wanted to make sure that it all fell down and like was like a waterfall of all these packing peanuts coming onto you, because a lot of people in like offices did with like ping pong balls and like, all these little things. So I thought packing peanuts would be like the perfect way to do it.
It was it was perfect. It was the best prank I had ever seen done in real life.
Mhm.
It was amazing. And I thought I was out of like the water by then. I thought that was just like a one-time deal, but I was wrong.
But no, in fact, I wanted to keep on doing this because one, I had a lot of spare time. Two, I had a lot of ambition to do this. And three, I had a lot of determination to just be like, I need to mess with Billy. And by the way, I'm not trying to hurt Billy. I'm just trying to have some fun with him. I'm not trying to be mean or trying to bully him. And he knows, and it's all in good jest, right? So I
Exactly.
just keep on doing this. So I, for the next like several weeks, continue doing more pranks. So like one prank I did was like he's short. That's like a joke around our group of friends.
Mhm.
So I took a chair and put that on top of the cubicle and then put all of his stuff, like his books and everything, on top of the chair. And I put a note on the chair that said, "You must be this tall to do physics." And there's like a line that was like super tall that Billy could never be able to like achieve a height
No
or
one in
even
there
in
could
person.
achieve it.
Exactly. You had to be Shaq in
What
order to get the books.
what I think would have been great though is if like you measured it out to be like perfectly like an inch taller than me, so that way
Yeah.
basically everyone in there could do it except me. I think that would have been
Right.
kind of funny. But I
Yeah.
like that. I had to climb up on the desk to grab the stuff.
hmm
So
Another prank that I decided to do was like the cubicles that we have, they cannot move. They're like staying in that one place and like bolted down or like very hard to move. So, but Billy has like all of these like posters, right? You have all these posters and magnets, and like you had all kinds of stuff there that you left there, right?
mhm.
So, what we decided to do, and me and one of our other friends, Joko, he decided to help me on this. We decided to move all the stuff that was on your desk, move it to some other cubicle that wasn't being used in the lounge on the other side. We first decided to do it across the way from your cubicle, but that was kind of not feasible because you could just easily see like, oh, there's always stuff. We wanted to make sure you tried to find it, so we took it all the way on the other side of the physics lounge and arranged the posters and the magnets and all your stuff in the exact way that we had found it on your cubicle to be on this cubicle. And we even like put like packing peanuts that were remnants of like the original prank on the floor in the exact same way. We had the
So
same
good.
chair.
Yeah, the attention to detail was pretty good. It was incredible, I think.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to do a prank is the attention to detail.
Mhm.
Which
I
brings me
agree.
to the final prank that I decided to do on Billy, which I think, in my opinion, was the best of all the pranks. But you think that the first one was good, I'll leave you to that opinion.
The first one was unprovoked. I had like no sensation anything was gonna happen, which is why I
Right.
think that it's like the first of a movie series. Like it kind
hmm
of starts everything up. Kind of the
Right.
idea.
But then this prank, I think this was like my golden achievement prank right here.
Mhm.
So what I decided to do on this final prank that I did on Billy was that I bought a roll off Amazon of caution tape, like the kind of stuff that you use at a police crime scene, right? Now, Billy, during this period during the semester was kind of slacking off, I would say. He wasn't like doing his work on time. He was kind of pushing it off. He would finish it, but he wasn't like completing it in the timely manner that I think a normal student would be wanting to do it, right?
I finished it like the day of. I mean, we all do that where we wait till the last minute to do the homework. I just
Right.
pushed it to the extreme a little bit, where I would wait till like 2 hours before classes to start the homework.
Mhm.
I got it
So,
done, but
yeah. But I had called you in jest again a slacker, you know. But of course, I obviously know you're not a slacker. You're a very hard worker, but I'm just
thank
obviously kind of making fun of the fact that you're doing your work last minute, you know?
you. Mhm.
So what I decided to do is I take this caution tape, right? And I took it to your cubicle and I decided to put all this caution tape all over your desk, like
Mhm.
attached with tape and staples. I wrap it around your chair, on the wheels of the chair, all around the cubicle. And then I string like a couple of things across the desk itself. So that way he can't like access the desk. And I make a little sign on there that says, and this is very much in poor taste in retrospect compared
Right
since we
now,
had like the pandemic and everything. But it was like warning, like slacker alert, like get too close and you'll get the slacker disease or something
it
like
was
that. Something to that
senioritis.
senioritis.
I
Um,
had an acute uh, senioritis
yeah.
at that point.
So you don't want to catch this because you can be infected with it too. Now, of course, in retrospect, poor taste, maybe,
It was before all this happened, so
Yeah,
back then it was fine. Right
yeah.
now, maybe not.
So on the note that I had, I got a picture off of the internet of Billy from when he was in high school, put it on there, and I put the teacher, the principal from Back to the Future, who used to call Marty McFly like slacker, and I had it literally perfectly like he was pointing at your face,
Mhm.
like basically calling you a slacker.
It was pretty
And
good.
I taped it on there, put all the caution cones. I think I got cones that you use for like soccer or something, and I put the cones around the desk so that way it's like completely avoid this like biohazard of a desk because senioritis is contagious.
It was perfect.
That was my
If you have
crowning
pictures of it,
achievement. Yes, I do. I have a lot of pictures of it.
we should put the pictures up when
We could do it in like the show notes. Like I know there's like you could put them
oh, and
in
like the caption part.
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll put the pictures down in the show notes so that way you guys can be able to see all the pictures because I have the pictures of every single prank actually. So I have each one chronicled so that way you can have a visual of like
Okay.
what it actually looks like.
Mhm. So so that day where I got there and the caution tape was
Mm,
wrapped like everything was caution. They wrapped the wheels of my chair.
yep.
It was it, it was thorough.
Yep.
And of course that day, like before, I was that day particularly though, I had a quantum information homework
Yeah.
and not really finished it, and it was due later that day.
Yeah.
And quantum information is a difficult class, and the homeworks are difficult, so I
Mm,
didn't really have time to do it. Like I didn't need anything in the desk, so I didn't
mhm,
have like an immediate need to get anything out and take everything off. So I left it
mhm.
there, and I figured I'll go back to it later. So I ended up leaving it there for about a week, I think, or a half a week, half a work
Yeah.
week at least. And yeah, like everyone who walked by, they just see my picture there, and they look at me, and I'm just like, I got pranked. I got, and
That was
all
the
of them were
best
like,
part of like the prank was that like while I was in the physics lounge, I would see people like come in for the first time that day and be like, they would walk by and do that exact reaction.
it was great because like I when I first walked in and I saw it, because like I was
Mm,
in a rush, I was like speed walking. I saw the caution tape, and I
right.
stop and I'm like, what happened to my desk? Because caution tape looks official,
Yeah,
even in that abundance. I
right.
thought
It
like
looks very official.
I thought someone official came over and like because you had like it made an X and everything.
Quarantine it.
Yeah, I was like, what? Did, was there a biohazard on my desk or something? Because I wouldn't put that past like people in the physics lounge to accidentally bring in a biohazard.
Right.
So I was like, did someone what is happening right now? And then I
Yeah.
got closer and I saw the senioritis
Mm-hmm.
and I realized it was Rob. But
It's always gonna be me.
I left it for like a week, which made it
Yep.
even more. I didn't want to take it down. I
No.
really grew to love it because it was such a great prank and it was so funny to just see every day.
Yeah. And then there was like the X's that like someone put in your eyes.
Yeah, that one was just weird.
Yeah,
Someone took a pen and drew X's on my eyes. I still don't. I think it might have been Brad. I don't
probably.
know.
It was
Sorry,
somebody.
Brad, if you ever watch this and I'm calling you out and it wasn't you. Um, but it was pretty good.
Mhm. But
And
like, so if you're keeping score at home, this is a prank war that's basically a slaughtering, right? How much of this is really a prank war? I've literally gotten Billy 4 times and he has gotten me 0 times.
yeah,
But
big old
as
Gucci.
all wars do, you always have to have some sort of retaliation, right?
Mhm.
So why
Yeah,
don't you tell about your perspective of what you did to me?
exactly. Yep. So after the caution wrapped desk, and after I took it off, it took like 10 minutes or so. And after I took it all off, I figured, well, Rob's gotten me a couple times. I think it's my turn to get Rob once. And I've never done a prank before. I've got pranked before, obviously, but
Right.
I've never pranked anyone. So I was
Mm.
at a complete loss. And the fact that you do not have anything that you keep at the lounge made it so much more difficult for me.
Right. Because I
Because
live at home that's in the city that we used to go to university at. So I was able to just go home, come back to school, do whatever I needed to do, and then go home. Nothing was left by because I didn't really need to.
Mhm. Yep, exactly. So you didn't need to leave anything. You didn't have a desk. You didn't have anything like that was yours there. So I had nothing to prank. Um, I had the desk, which opened me up to like this whole thing. But
Mm.
I needed to get you somehow. And I know you've been talking about how much you've been pranking me, but you
Yep.
are extremely nice and generous where you've given me
Yes.
some of the posters that I've had up on my desk.
Yeah. Like I
And
gave you a Captain America poster that had like the Constitution on it. It was like a freebie that I got from one of the posters that I got, and I knew you would like it.
it was incredible. I
Mhm.
really hope that they didn't throw it away.
I hope not.
I hope they just put it somewhere.
Hopefully.
But
I didn't check that thoroughly.
yeah. Um so you have offered when I needed to go from the physics lounge building to
Mhm.
where the dorms are to visit
Mhm.
someone. You have been very nice to offer me a ride when the weather's either been really cold because it was winter at that time or it was like raining or something.
Mhm.
You've been very kind and generous to offer me rides.
Yep.
And there I found my eureka moment. I realized I could get your car because I knew your car from the times you drove me.
Yes.
And I specifically got you to drive me one extra time before I inevitably did the prank so that way I
Right.
can memorize your license plate. So that way I knew I hit the right car and it wasn't just
Right.
like, this one looks like Rob's, I'll get it.
Mhm.
So I memorized the license plate, I knew what it looked like, and everything was set. So, so I planned a physics night, a movie night with our physics friends inside the university. So at night,
Mhm.
some rooms are open and they got the projectors and stuff. So it makes a really nice
Yep.
movie night every once in a while.
Mhm.
So I figured, well, let me plan a movie night where I know Rob will be there
Mhm.
and his car will be there,
Yep.
leaving him open. Because he'll be in there talking to people. And I'll just be like, well, I have an appointment. I'll be a little late. And Billy
And I don't
being
know
late.
why I didn't like think about this. I don't understand what in my brain went like, oh, Billy's going to something, he'll be back,
Mhm.
whatever. Didn't
So
really think of it, but
But I mean, me being late isn't really new, which I think could have lulled you. And
Right.
I don't typically fib, so I think that also probably played a role in it.
Yeah.
But so Rob is there. I'm saying I'm gonna be a little late,
Mhm.
and to pay homage to the beauty that was my caution wrapped desk, I
Mhm.
caution wrapped Rob's car
Yep.
from bumper to bumper, all the way around, skin
Yep.
tight, like saran wrap, but with caution tape.
Yep.
And I had a few friends help me because it was a big job.
Right.
It took like an hour or so to wrap, I think. My hands were
Mhm.
freezing, but I was vindicated.
Yeah.
I was avenged.
You were avenged
Oh yeah.
of all the wrongs that I have done.
And so from bumper to bumper, all the way around, one continuous strand. So it wasn't like you could like cut them and like pull. It was like one continuous thing, and it was perfect. Bumper to bumper, can see any of the car. And
Yep.
when people were walking by when we were doing it, they just looked at us and were like, "Nice." And I was like,
Two
"Thank you."
thumbs up.
Yeah, I was like, "Thank you." So I was very proud of it because
Mhm.
one, it got the only thing it could of your car, but
Right.
also it was like an homage to one of the things you had done before, which I
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
So then we go through the movie night shenanigans. We ended up, I think, playing hide and go seek in the
Mhm.
university,
Yep.
and that's a whole another story, which we can talk about at some
Mhm.
point. Probably not now, but at
Yeah.
some point. So we played hide and go seek. Then we watched the movie. This was The
Mhm.
Dark Knight Rises, I believe.
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Thank you.
Yep.
And we start because we played hide and go seek. We started the movie pretty late,
Yep.
um, and we finished the movie, I think around midnight.
Mhm.
And I left, and you were like, "Let me just drive you home." It's like, "It's okay. Let me drive you home."
Because I felt bad because like, your mom was gonna drive you home because Billy doesn't drive. He doesn't have his own car. So
Mhm.
like he asked his mom to bring him home from the
Yeah.
university because he lives in another town far
Mhm.
away from the university. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to bother you or have your mom bother you and like,
Mhm.
have to drive all the way from there to the university and back. I could be able to drive you. I don't mind.
Mhm. Yeah. My mom was very nice enough to drive me there and back.
Right.
But the main problem was that the state of Rob's car was not ready to be driven, and I didn't
Right.
really wanna help clean it up because that was part of the prank, the cleanup.
Yeah.
So, I was like, "I'm good, thank you so much, that is too kind, but
Yeah.
my mom's already here, I can go." And so I walk like, I leave, and you stay
Mhm.
for, like, another 10, 15 minutes, something like that,
Mhm.
and on the ride home, I get a call from Rob.
Yep.
This is where I think you should pick it up.
So I'm gonna give a little context as well. This car was a brand new car that I just bought. It was like we did he did the prank in March. I literally got it in January, at the end of January of last year. So it was a fairly new car that I was personally paying for. And I don't know why I didn't think of it. I don't know why I didn't think like, oh, he's gonna do an appointment. That's fine. He's not gonna prank me. I didn't think he was gonna do anything. But we do the whole movie night. I go outside. And of course, also, once you go outside the university after midnight, you're locked out of the university. You can't go back inside for anything.
Mhm,
So it's kind of cold because it's nighttime. It's like in the like upper 30s. And I go to my car, and like my car is at this point the only car in like the parking lot because it's midnight and it was the day before spring break. So everybody's obviously gone.
mhm,
So I go to my car and I'm like, is that my car? It doesn't look like my car. It looks like my car. That's my car. And I go up to it and it's just covered continuously with this caution tape. And I was like, oh, God. And so I called Billy. I'm like, you son of a gun. I cannot believe You just did this to my car, my brand new car. How dare you? So now, of course, with Billy's prank that I did on him with the caution tape, at least it was loose enough so that way he could like pull it off, and it was like covered by tape, and you could get some staples out and whatnot.
Mhm.
This was stuck on underneath the undercarriage.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure I was careful to not make sure like anything was like damaged or anything. He also got wrapped the wheels of my car too.
Mhm. I made
So
I
I had
made
to
sure that none of it got damaged. I was very, very cautious,
right.
unintended, to make sure it didn't damage the car because I knew it was brand new, and
Mhm.
I'm not the most rich person. So for one,
Yeah,
I couldn't help pay if I accidentally damaged something, and two, I knew
right.
how important it was to you, so I made
Mhm.
sure nothing got damaged.
Right.
But, it was very, very tight, and I
Yeah.
bet very difficult too.
It was very difficult. Someone did actually help me out and like started ripping it. And I was like, please don't rip it. I want to make sure it like comes off kind of gently so that way nothing is damaged because I do have special mirrors that could like fold in and stuff. And like, you don't want those damaged. You want to because like it's a new car. You want to make sure everything's like pristine with this car. And to this day, it's been over a year, or almost a year since that prank. I still have the caution tape, some of the caution tape that was left on my car as a reminder that even though after this prank that happened, the COVID-19 pandemic happened and we were separated, we could not be able to see each other, and the school basically shut down for the rest of the semester. I still have this caution tape as a reminder to myself that even though we were separated, and even though Billy has been graduated already, that it's not over. I'm still gonna get him back. I'm not gonna let this go because I'm gonna give him 2 points. Like each point was towards me giving him a prank. So I have 4 points. He basically got 2 points because it was a surprise factor. It was a personal factor because that was my car. And also, like, it was very good. I'm gonna give him top notch points for that. But I'm making sure that even though we have not seen each other in person in over almost a year.
Mhm.
This prank war is going to continue. I've been plotting, I've been planning, I've been making sure that like the perfect prank to get you back will occur. So I'm going to make sure that there is due justice. I will avenge this prank that you have done on me.
So I I'm not the most, uh I'm a misunderstood bad boy. Now we have to cut that part out. Um, but,
Misunderstood? Yes.
but, so I'm not the pranking type. So the fact that
Mhm.
Rob says he has, like, things in store for me makes me, like, worried a little bit. Like, basically,
As he should be.
as our names say, which side is it? Right here?
Mhm.
So mine is in reference to Captain America. I also got blue in the background, and I'm wearing blue.
Yes.
But, Captain America is my favorite. I also have the phone case,
Mhm.
um, by far. I
Yeah.
even have a ring that says WWCAD in it, which stands
Mhm.
for "What would Captain America do?" Specifically because I like to, if I'm struggling with something, I can always ask myself that question, and like
Mhm.
that's like my guiding question, basically.
Yeah.
So in a prank war, if I ask that question, "What would Captain America do?" I
Yeah.
don't really get an answer. He probably wouldn't engage in a prank war. So
Right.
I'm at like a loss for this.
Mhm.
I'm very worried. Um,
As you should be, because I have a lot of time and resources on my hands, Billy.
very mischievous.
Yes.
You're
I
very
go to
good at
sleep
that.
every night thinking, what am I going to do to Billy now?
You're very creative.
I am.
Um, and this was actually the last time me and you saw each other in person,
Yes,
which is crazy.
because of
Everything got
everything
shut
shutting
down right
down,
after.
which I think was a very good way to end the senior year for all of us. Well, I mean, except for me, because I wasn't a senior. I was a junior, but most of you who were there were seniors who were going to be graduating. And I thought
Yeah.
it was a very nice, fitting end. We played hide and seek, we watched a nice movie,
Mhm.
and we got a prank war conclusion
Kind of.
for now.
We got a semi conclusion.
Hmm. Where
But
there's gonna
yeah.
be an end credit scene, guys. There's gonna be an end credit scene where it's like, I'm plotting.
Ah, so bad. Um, but yeah, I agree. Since in the exclusion of not having an official goodbye to like all the friends and stuff,
Hmm.
having this one I think was pretty good because it was
Yeah.
a really fun night and like the prank war like was like a big thing that year.
Hmm.
Everyone ended up hearing about the prank because we have a group like Discord. So everyone got
Right.
like a picture of the oh that's where I can find the picture.
Hmm.
So everyone got
I
to
have the
see it.
picture too, anyway. So
So it was great because like it was like a nice conclusion to like the prank war sort of. It was a nice
hmm.
movie night. Everyone was involved. And it wasn't perfect because you didn't really get to say bye, but
Yeah.
also because it ended that way, I think we stayed in touch more than we might have if we were like
Yeah.
bye forever,
Right.
you know. So I think it was a
Because
blessing
we
in
also got
disguise.
to talk to each other like during the pandemic as well, like during school hours as well. When we would
Exactly,
have lab together or something, we would be able to talk to each other. So we still
exactly.
stay connected
Hmm.
even after the shutdown happened.
Yeah, exactly. Not that it was good on any level, but like the fact that we didn't have an official goodbye, like the group, I think was secretly a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good way to end it
Yeah,
for you
it was
guys.
satisfying.
Yeah.
It was like the end of a Marvel movie where like after the post credit scene, like it's like it leads you to wanna like the next one, but it's a
Hmm.
satisfying ending to the movie itself.
It's like Avengers Endgame when we saw, spoiler alert, where Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter are dancing in their house.
Yeah, I agree. Just like
It's that
this.
kind of ending.
I agree. Pretty good. We're not gonna dance though.
I would not want to.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't.
not a good dancer.
Mm-mm. Um, so what's our next topic? Are we gonna talk about something else? I had an interesting question that so I
Hmm.
work as a teacher.
Yeah.
Um, one of my students is a very, very avid Marvel fan. Pretty
Right.
good because every once in a while we get to talk about it in between like lessons and stuff.
Hmm.
And one of the things that he said that would be fun to talk about
Hmm.
um, is who should have gotten the Captain America shield. Like,
Yeah.
did he make the right choice in giving it to Sam,
Hmm.
whereas he should have given it to Bucky, or should he have given it to Bucky over Sam? Like,
Right.
who really should have who should take on the mantle?
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting one because Falcon and Winter Soldier starts next week. I'm not sure when we're gonna get this out. Today's Pi Day,
Right.
so hopefully get it out beforehand, maybe.
Hmm. Maybe.
So then it would be like a good thing, like to start before the actual series starts. You know?
Right. So like this is kind of like the same question of like, who's gonna take up the Batman mantle if Bruce Wayne does die or like retires or something? Who's the Robin who's gonna take up the mantle? Is it gonna be, Dick Grayson, or is it gonna be Jason Todd, or is it gonna be Tim Drake? There's
Big
so
Bang
many
Theory
different
reference.
there's so many different answers to the question and so many arguments you can be made. I mean, I think that it was a perfect way to pass on the Captain America symbol, the symbol of freedom and the symbol of, because like Falcon was a war veteran, so obviously he does deserve it a little bit. He has
So
honor.
was Bucky too.
Yeah, but I
They're
think
both war veterans.
with Bucky, I think he has, still has the Hydra training, so like he's not the same, and he's kind of a
Yeah,
character in his own right.
like
He is the Winter
tainted, kind
Soldier.
of, right?
Yeah.
Maybe tainted is not the right word.
Hmm. Like, yeah, they're both military veterans, but I feel like but I think in Endgame, at the end of the movie, we saw that Bucky was like, go ahead. Like he was accepting that he was not the one who should be responsible for being Captain America. It should be Sam. You
Mhm.
know, I think he gained that acceptance. I think he knew that it was right for Sam to have the shield. And in the comics, he does get to be Captain America, Sam does.
Yeah,
So it does fit well. And of course, there could be arguments that could be made that, Bucky Barnes could get the Captain America shield. But I think, Marvel doing it really well with having Sam get the shield and then Bucky kind of being his sidekick now really works well in the
I agree.
story.
Yeah, I didn't think about it from the point of him being a military veteran, which I really
Right.
liked. That was a good
Yeah.
point. Um, I more thought of it along the points of yes, Bucky was probably I don't know. I don't want to say a better friend, but he was definitely a longer term friend than Sam
Yeah.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they knew each other growing up and stuff. But just because
Right.
I feel like they were best friends doesn't necessarily mean he should take on the mantle.
Mm-hmm.
Because Captain America is like a symbol of like you said, uh, very succinctly, like freedom and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. It's basically the ideals of what America should be in an idealistic world.
Right.
Um, so I do think that Falcon or Sam does embody that a little bit more,
Yeah.
um, other than the fact that he was a veteran. But he does
Mm-hmm.
seem like he fights like in the same for the same types of causes that Captain America or Steve Rogers did.
Right.
So I agree wholeheartedly with what you said, and also with uh, I'm going to keep calling him Captain America, and I'll just
Okay.
call Falcon Falcon.
Yeah.
Um, so when I say Captain America, I mean Steve Rogers. So I
Yes.
agree 100% with Captain America's choice to pass down the mantle to Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. I can see how people would say it the other way, but
Right.
I think usually those arguments are more they were better friends,
Mm-hmm.
so he should have it. But I think it's
Right.
more than just being better friends. It's what their ideals are.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to be definitely explored in the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like it's going to pick up right after the events of Avengers Endgame, and then like we see that Sam is trying to kind of fit the mold, if you will. He's trying to test out the shield. He's trying to see, how does it feel? Like, is it going to be for him? Is he worthy?
Mhm.
To put another reference in there, is he worthy really to have the shield?
Yeah.
And I
Is
think
he
that's going to
ready?
be a big discussion point that's going to happen. Obviously, Captain America is not going to be here anymore,
Mhm.
but we're still going to have a discussion of like, the aspects of what Captain America represents and like, does he have the big enough feet to fill those shoes? They were pretty big shoes to fill. So,
Yeah. I think it will be a great series, in my opinion. I'm biased, but
yes, because Billy is a huge Captain America fan. It's his favorite superhero. So,
yeah, by far. I mean, I am very short, but I take pride in the fact that I am Steve Rogers before height, the transfusion.
yes.
So when he's a scrawny little weakling,
Mhm.
um, that's my height.
Yes. Just think of like what Steve Rogers looked like after he got the infusion and just shrink the picture like a little bit. And that's what Billy looks like.
Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment because that means I'm fit.
Well, you work out more than I do, so I definitely think that's true.
Yeah, I try to stay physically fit if I can. I used to wrestle, so it's just kind of ingrained in me. But
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we get to look forward to next week. We get to look forward to us discussing the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. We might do a little bit of Justice League if we actually have a little bit of ambition to watch it, if we can. But
does that
we're
come
going to
out?
primarily do more Marvel stuff than the DC stuff for now because DC's not putting out as much as Marvel is.
Does the Justice League come out next week?
Yeah, it comes out on Wednesday the 17th, I believe, or Thursday the 18th. One of those two is going to be coming out.
Okay, I probably if we're gonna watch it, we'll have to watch it together to force us to watch it. I feel like I'm not
Well, one
gonna
of
have
us
the
has to get
motivation to
HBO
sit.
Max because like we have to pay for
That's
that.
true. Yeah, I don't have the motivation to sit for 4 hours to watch a movie.
See, that's why it's like I don't know if we should. That's why
Yeah,
I feel like Falcon Research is good. Maybe we'll touch on Justice League if we're going to have the motivation, but it could be put off on the back burner. I mean, like I don't know if you did, but I haven't watched the Wonder Woman movie yet. So
Oh, I haven't either.
yeah,
I want to
so
though,
we're lagging behind.
on DC at least.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's not as good as Marvel. We're biased in that
We
it's not as good as Marvel.
we are 100% biased, but I think we're true.
We're not going to be completely Marvel. We're going to be somewhat DC, so that way, we don't have just Marvel fans coming in here. We want to have all the fans of all the nerdy things because that is our show, the
Exactly.
Nerdy Wordy. We talk a lot of words about a lot of nerd stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I think that wraps up our first episode.
Yes, I'm excited for episode 2 and the continuation because right now we're going to be going into like the prime of Marvel right now. We've already ended WandaVision, which I think we should do an episode on that as like a recap review of our thoughts on it. So
Yeah.
that way people know that we're not just some people who have loved Marvel for like a month. We have been full-fledged Marvel fans since we were in utero, basically.
Yeah, a
So
long time.
but then we will get straight into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then right after that becomes Black Widow. Then we're gonna have Loki, and it's just gonna be a huge explosion of Marvel stuff and Marvel content that we're gonna talk about. It's gonna be endless Marvel, but we're also gonna put in little dabbles of other stuff too. So we're not going to just exclude the rest
And
of society.
yeah, it's just gonna be a majority of it because Marvel's really it's really hard to say Marvel's taken off because Marvel's took off a long time ago, but it's like
But
they
I
have their
think
own
definitely in
peak
this
right now.
hiatus of like 2020, we haven't been able to see any Marvel content for like a year and a half.
It was awful. I
The
mean, I
worst
still watch
time,
reruns and TV shows,
right?
and we talked about it and trailers. So I mean,
Hmm.
it wasn't a it was the longest we had gone in like a decade without something new from Marvel, and
That's true.
it wasn't pleasant.
It was literally from the time that we had the Incredible Hulk to the time we had uh, Iron
Spider
Man
Man.
2. That entire
Oh
time, we didn't
yeah,
have any Marvel stuff. That was the last time. Shed tear.
I
But
know.
now we're back. We're back and better than ever for Marvel.
I know. They got the TV shows. They're gonna have movies. They got so good TV
It's going to
shows,
be fun.
movies. Basically, it. That's a lot.
Yep.
Um,
Any
yeah.
resounding thoughts to end the episode, Billy?
Um, no. Other than I had fun, and I hope
Hmm.
the listeners potentially had fun listening to us ramble about how we pranked each other, or how
How I'm
mostly I
just
got
such a
pranked.
mean person.
No, it was all in good fun. I mean, I wasn't. If I ever got mad about it, I'm sure you would have stopped.
Oh yeah, he would have Hulk smashed me, people. Just trust me. He has like bent up anger just hidden inside of himself.
That the only thing that comes to mind with that is I'll probably make Captain America references. By the way, is in Avengers 2
Mhm.
when Iron Man says that he doesn't trust someone without a dark side, and Captain America his response was, "Let's just say you haven't seen it yet,"
Yeah.
kind of thing. I think that's your theory about me.
Mm.
That you just haven't seen it yet.
And hopefully we never will.
Well, I don't typically like. I don't get mad like that at people or
No.
things in general, just
Mhm.
because I don't know. I feel like everyone has their reasons. I mean, some are more justified than others. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like it's up. Everyone always makes best with what they got.
Right.
Sometimes they make mistakes, but I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, so you kind of just
Mhm.
gotta roll with the punches, I guess. Just
Don't
say
create any
enjoy
of
it.
your own.
What?
Don't create any of your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know
I
if I
like
made
it.
a mistake, like if I annoyed someone by accident a lot, I would not want them to get mad at me, so I give
Right.
them the same courtesy.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me answering the question, what would Captain America do?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the question, everybody. What would Captain America do? Because that is going to lead us into Falcon and Winter Soldier. What would he do in the situation that they're going to be put into? We don't know what's going to happen, but I think it's going to be great.
Yep, I do too.
And I
Yeah.
like filled it to the top of all these packing peanuts. So that way it just like overflowed the entire thing.
Got a little technical difficulty there.
Blooper.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna tape it. Where's the tape?
This is such a blooper.
Okay. I think I did like knockdown.
Luckily, because that would have been even funnier. If like one of the cars like hit your head.
Well, I'm just nervous that like it'll knock down this and this. All of
Mhm.
Action.
You want to try that again?
Yeah, what was the last thing we said? I think
So
it
I
was
was
you
saying
were
like it
talking.
was filled to the brim.
Okay.
All right.
Because I mean
Mhm.
we're only like a couple months into the semester, and like
Yeah.
you're pretty. I hear the tape.
Oh no, it's gonna fall.
I'm just gonna leave it until it falls. Okay.